where today we are going to be cooking up a fabulous meal. I'm doing a holiday series as well as just general overall live cooking. And tonight, my husband and I are welcoming our daughter home for the holidays. And so I'm cooking up a fun, festive holiday treat for the three of us where we will watch a Christmas movie and celebrate moving into the Christmas season. All right, so what I'm making today, what's on the menu, we're going to be doing bacon wrapped seared ahi tuna. And then I'm going to be doing a chopped winter salad with some different alternatives that you can use. We'll do my chicken, pepper, and cheese skewers for an appetizer. And then I'll also be doing a chocolate protein avocado mousse. So with that, let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to get the appetizer going. So I'm just going to set my air fryer. I'm going to turn you around here with me. I'm going to just set my air fryer, turn it on, get it set to air fry. There we go. And we're going to do it at 375 for this particular recipe. And we're going to cook it for about 17 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started. I have here, forgot you're not following me. I have here my chicken breast, just one chicken breast. I'm going to drizzle it with a little bit of honey. And you can use whatever you want for this. So depending on flavors that you like, you could do honey, you could do a honey mustard, you could do balsamic. This particular one I'm doing with honey. I've lightly seasoned it with salt and pepper. I'm going to take my little pieces of red pepper because we're going to make these as skewers. I'm just going to use little tiny toothpicks because I just want little bite-sized skewers. I don't want something super long. This is a light appetizer that we'll be eating. So I'm going to take my peppers and I'm going to just put them over the top of my chicken. So I'm going to cut up a few other pieces here. Bring in a little closer to me so that you can actually see that. I've cut the pepper into little strips and then I'm just going to cut them into about inch-sized little bites. I'm just going to throw them on top of that, and that's going to cook, and it's going to kind of roast them with the chicken. So they'll be on there super easy to add in and put on the skewer, which I'll be demoing for you. So we'll throw that on there, and then we're just going to pop that into the air fryer, and then we will check it to see how it's doing. I'm going to bump that back up, and there we go. All right, so our chicken skewers are started. We'll also be adding cheese to those, but we'll get to that here in just a minute. All right, our next step in the process so that we stay in alignment with our timing and getting everything together, we're going to go ahead and get our tuna ready. So what we're going to do on the tuna, again, you can make as much or as little as you want. In this particular recipe, I picked out 3 tuna steaks, 3 tuna ahi steaks, and I'm cutting them into fairly decent sizes, okay? Fairly decent sizes. Let me move this a little closer so you can actually see what I'm doing here. So we're just going to cut those. And again, it's my husband and then my daughter and I, and so we might eat a little bit less than he would. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces here. Then I'm going to take my bacon strips, okay? So depending on how many you're making, usually you can cut this. I don't like to have it super, super messy, so I'm going to start it and just twist it around here. And then I'm going to cut the loose end off. Just twisting it around, and then I'm going to put it in this little marinade area. Then we've got this one, and we'll do the same thing. This one actually seemed to do okay with the long whole entire strip. So I might need to get one more piece of bacon out. Cut that off. One of them might be just a little bit interesting looking, but it's taste that matters more than anything, right? Presentation is good. Now this is a smaller piece, so this is where I would probably take this and wrap it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need some more bacon. So we'll get this going. And I will go grab my bacon, so hang on. I'm fairly new doing these lives, so you have to bear with me. This is only my second one, so I appreciate you watching and being encouraging and all that good stuff. Cut a little bit more off, wrap that one up. And then we'll just kind of put the rest of, well, that one probably could have done a whole piece. Wrap that one on there, stick it in. And again, I just like to show you how to cook easily, simply, with very nutritious recipes and not get super bogged down with being a professional cook. I always like to say this is my inner Rachel Ray that I'm channeling, and more than anything, I just want to get it done. So our next step is to marinate this. It calls for, and by the way, if you go to recipes.lowertoxiclife.com, you will actually find this on the blog. I'll be adding the video to that on my blog post, but the recipes are all there. So it's a 1/4 cup of fresh orange juice, a 1/4 cup of amino acids, no, coconut aminos, sorry. I don't know why I called it acids. A 1/4 cup of that, and this is just going to be your marinade. Sprinkle that in there. And then a tablespoon of balsamic. Now, it also calls for pepper, and I will tell you, for me, I do not ever add salt to this because tuna can be a little salty on its own, but the bacon definitely adds some salt to it. So you want to not over season it to begin with because it can be kind of, it can overwhelm it. So now we're just going to mix all that up pretty good. We're going to pour that over. We're going to allow that to marinate for about 15 minutes, which is going to be perfect because that's about the time that our skewers are going to come out. And so I don't even have to really set a timer for that. And then we will start cooking those. Move this to the back. All right, and then right over here is what I'm going to be cooking them in. So I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of avocado oil in there so that it'll be ready to go when the whistle blows and we get this started. All right, so that is our prep for the tuna. Move this out of the way. All right, the next thing that we're going to get started with is making our avocado protein, our chocolate avocado protein mousse, because we want that for dessert. And I like to do that ahead of time because I don't like it at room temperature. I actually prefer it a little cooler. It depends on you, but you can do it however you want. So what we're going to do with this particular part of it, we've got our avocados here. So the recipe calls for 2 avocados, a can of full-fat coconut milk. I like to use Trader Joe's brand. And then it calls for protein powder. And again, go to recipes.lowertoxiclife.com. You can find this. There's a search bar right in there, and you can actually pop right into it, bacon wrapped tuna, and you'll find it. Calls for cacao powder. This is the chocolate. A little bit of vanilla extract, stevia, and some salt. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put all of this into a blender. Let me bring you just a little bit closer for right now also. So we're just going to simply cut up the avocados. You like to have them pretty ripe, and I will give you a little hint here. Sometimes if I have avocados that are going to be going bad soon, or, have just about reached the end, don't want the seed in there, then I will peel them, cut them into slices, and then I throw them in the freezer, and they work great in this avocado mousse. They work absolutely fabulously. I almost need a sink right over here because some of these recipes you get kind of messy. So you're just going to put your avocado in there. Just squeeze it out. I feel like I should put this on my face or my hair and do a nice little personal care treatment while I'm doing this. These are great avocados. They're perfect for this. So this is just a simple recipe, and I will tell you this freezes extremely well. So one of the things that I really like to do with this is make it ahead of time, freeze it, and then I have it on hand. So let's get the rest of this added in here. Wash my hands quickly so that I can keep going. All right, so we have our avocado in here. A little bit of a mess. And then we're just going to pour our coconut milk in. It goes right in there with it. Yay, we're cooking. And then we're going to put our protein powder in. Cacao powder. Calls for a teaspoon of vanilla. I like to use the pure bourbon vanilla extract from Trader Joe's. I don't like to use any of the fake ones. Put that in there. I'm just going to put 1 dropper of the organic liquid stevia for sweetener. Now, what I will tell you is depending on your sweet tooth and how sweet you like it, you can change that up and put in as much or as little as you actually prefer for that. Now, you can also use honey. You can use agave sweetener. You have a lot of options that you can use with all of that. So it depends on what you want. My protein powder, today I used the Kirkland brand Whey protein powder. I like this particular one. I get it at Costco. One other one that I like to use is the Pure Paleo. It's a bone broth protein powder. It's flavored chocolate. It's pretty tasty also. A lot more pricey, but it's got some good stuff in it for sure. All right, and then I really mix it up. My cacao powder, this is one I actually got at Costco. If you watch at Costco, they sell in this organic brand. I like it, Viva Naturals organic brand. One thing that I really like about it, is that it's organic and it's super cost effective. And as I always say, if you really will take some time to go into Costco and shop around, you will find that it is an amazing resource for great organic products at a lot lower price. Now, I'm just going to put a little sprinkle of salt in, okay? And we are good to go. And now we're just going to put the lid on it, and we're going to blend it right over here with our blender. I didn't mean to do that. All right, now we'll put it on. You can just see it blending up there. You have to stop it partway through, obviously, and push it down and get it in there. This is a blender that I don't hardly ever use, but I like it because it has a glass jar. I like the glass, but my daughter gifted me a Ninja when she moved and couldn't take it with her, and I do prefer to use that, although it's got a plastic container. So we'll get that going. We're going to have some wonderful chocolate mousse. All right, so that's going to be our dessert. Now this mousse is great. It's I have some cacao chocolate brownies that are absolutely amazing. They're super healthy. They are over on my blog, so you can find them over there at recipes.lowertoxiclife.com. This mousse is a great accompaniment to that. So if you make brownies, or I make a flourless chocolate cake also that I like to add into that. Hopefully you can still hear me. All right, that should be just about good. I'm going to grab a spoon. We'll taste it and see how we end up. Ah, yes. Great consistency. Perfect. I'm going to throw that in the freezer, and it will be ready for tonight's dinner. That's what it looks like. It's going to freeze. It's a great consistency. It's a puddingy kind of mousse, but it is absolutely fabulous. All right, we have about 4 more minutes on our chicken for the skewers, which means right after those come out, then we will get those ready, and at the same time, then we'll start searing our tuna. So I'm going to move to chopping up my salad. Now we're going to get to the winter salad. So grabbing a knife. Now, in the recipe, you'll see you can use radicchio, you can use kale. I like to use, for a chopped winter salad, I like to use those greens that are crunchy. In this particular one, I'm kind of doing a fridge clean out since we are moving into Christmas. Christmas is a little over a week and a day away as of this recording. And I'm only going to make enough, even though I'm spilling it on the floor, I'm going to make enough for just the 3 of us. Okay, just the 3 of us. So I'm going to chop up my spinach. I don't know about you, but one thing that I don't like a lot of is when I go to a restaurant and I order salad and it's, these big leafy pieces that you have to try to fit into your mouth, and you're trying to do it in a dainty way that doesn't, where you don't have all different things coming out of you and all that stuff. So I'm just going to chop that up a little bit small, bite size, put it in our bowl here. And then I'm using purple red cabbage, organic cabbage. My family really likes cabbage in salad. It gives it it's colorful, so it's really, really pretty. It's got a lot of good nutrients in it, super easy to chop up, and the crunch and the texture are really, truly fantastic with this particular salad, with the winter chopped salad. So I just get that chopped up. Gonna throw it in there. And again, just kind of move that around and get it to the amount that you want. Okay. I'm gonna put just a tiny bit more of the cabbage in so that we have that really pretty colorful texture with the salad. So we put that in there. And this is where you can have a lot of fun with different things. Today, I'm going to be using dried cranberries. So I have these, of course, stored in my glass jars. I'm going to be using pistachio nuts because I want to make it a little bit different. I will be sprinkling organic feta cheese over the top of it. That'll be my cheese. Spilled a little bit of juice there. But I'm going to chop up this Gala apple, this red apple. Again, a chopped salad, the idea behind it is the crunch. The crunch factor is a big, big part of it. So the apple adds color to the whole thing, and it also adds that crunch and consistency. And it's just a different type of experience with a salad. We don't often have apple in our salad. A lot of times, we're used to having strawberries or different fruits like that, but not always apple. So again, keeping these to where the bite size capacity of it is a little better. I just cut these into small chunks. And I'm just going to put these into the bowl. And now our salad is basically ready to go. We'll go ahead and move into the salad dressing, because as I mentioned, we're doing a homemade vinaigrette for this. So we'll just stir this up. And there's our salad. Now, when it gets time to serve it, that's when I will add in the pistachios, and I will add in the cranberries and the cheese. So let's move this off to the side. Let me check let's check our chicken and our peppers and see how those are doing. Looking right in there. Let me get a fork and test our chicken because we want to make sure that it got done. Looks like it might need just about 3 more minutes. So we're going to start that. and let it go. All right, so the salad dressing is pretty simple. It's just a mix of oils, vinegars, and mustard. I love to use the Kirkland brand organic apple cider vinegar that comes with the mother. I just pour it in here in my little bullet. Olive oil, and again, the measurement amounts are on the blog, on the recipe. And then I put a mustard in. I'm actually using a horseradish Dijon mustard. This is actually Kroger brand, but believe it or not, you know how I have like my 5-ingredient rule and making sure it doesn't have certain things. This has vinegar, water, mustard seed, salt, horseradish powder, which could be a bit of a deal breaker depending on what all's in it, and then red peppers. So it doesn't have seed oils. It doesn't have some of the things that I really don't care for. So we put all that in here, and then we just lightly season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. And this is one of those things where sometimes you might like it just a little bit sweeter. So it might be one of those things where you add in just a little bit of honey or a little bit of stevia. I'm just going to put that in there, and then we make our homemade salad dressing. Put it in here, and then it goes right on the NutriBullet. And it takes almost no time. So we've got that made. It'll be ready to go. I will put this in the refrigerator. Let's give it a little taste and see how it is. Fantastic. Now, I don't like it super sweet, so it has a little bit of a tartness to it. I like that, especially with the apples that are in the salad mix as well. So you'll just kind of have to decide that for yourself, testing it and seeing if you want to add in extra things. So we've got our chicken just about done. We'll work on those. I'm going to go ahead and start the tuna, and then we'll put together, our salad is done, our dessert is done. We'll start the tuna, and then we'll put together the skewers, and then we will basically be ready to eat. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on to about medium. Now, I'm going to confess, I don't really like my tuna seared. I like it a little more done. So I'm going to cook this a little more done. And my family, my daughter actually loves sushi. My husband and I are not sushi eaters. I know, that's terrible, but we just aren't. And so I like mine a little more done. But if you're a person who likes sushi and likes things seared, then you're going to love this. I'm just going to kind of move this around in here. We'll get that hot for just a few moments, and then we're going to cook it. And then we'll put together our appetizers. So the goal is to put the appetizers together. We'll have those, a little bit of conversation. We'll choose out the Christmas movie that we're going to watch, which will probably be Elf or possibly The Polar Express, maybe The Grinch. One of those three movies, or Christmas with the Cranks. We really enjoy that one too. Just kind of a variety. So that's going to be our plan for dinner tonight. So as this gets warm, we're going to go ahead, and this has been marinating in here, pretty covered. I'm just going to take this and put that one kind of fell apart a little bit. It's reminding me that it's done. Probably could have gotten that a little warmer before I started it. But hey, this is only my second live cooking show, so we're doing the best that we can here. And I'll get that down there to where you can see it pretty good. All right. Have our little ones. So we will we'll have some conversation, serve up the appetizers, chat a little bit with my daughter about what's been going on with her, and then we will serve up dinner, start the movie, and enjoy our time together. And I'm just going to kind of pour this over the top of it just a little bit so that it's in there. I know it only says 15 minutes. I kind of like to marinate it just a little bit longer than that, but here we go, and let's get that heat cranked up just a tad so that it starts cooking and we finish that on time. And while that is heating up, let's go check our skewers. So there they are. Okay. Yep, that looks pretty good. So as you can see here, we've got our chicken. We've got some roasted peppers here. I'm going to move it over here to just cool off slightly. We'll work on the tuna, and then we will skewer those. And as you can hear, it's heating up. I'm going to rinse this dish out, and I will set that aside so that I can move those back into that container. Because while this cooking show is live, it is the middle of the day. So I'm actually preparing this, and we will be eating this tonight. So you can hear it, you can see it. It calls for about 3 to 4 minutes aside. I like to move mine around so it gets a little more done on all the sides. Because like I say, I just am not a huge raw fish person. I keep swearing I'm going to develop that part of my palate, but so far it just hasn't happened. So, all right, so that's cooking up. Now we'll move this. While that's cooking, I'm going to move this little guy. We'll pull our chicken out. Put our chicken there. You can see these. We'll be using these little peppers that just kind of roasted in with that. We'll be using the peppers. And I'm just going to cut the chicken into little bite-sized chunks. That cooled just slightly. That might need just a little bit more in the toaster oven. So these ends are okay. These are going to go back in, but I can go ahead and use these. And the other thing that you can do that works great, so once you get it all ready, if you decide it needs to cook just a little bit longer, you can go ahead and put it on the toothpicks, throw it back in there, and it's good to go. In fact, that's probably what I will do, and then I will add the cheese on toward the end. So just to show you how this is going to turn out, we've got our toothpicks. My plan today is to use my mozzarella cheese balls. So we're going to take the toothpick. And again, I just want these to be small. You can use larger toothpicks. We put the chicken on. We put a little red pepper, a thing of cheese, and then we add the chicken to the other end of it. And just plate those to where they look pretty. And we are good to go with those appetizers. All right, moving back over here to our tuna. Let's get that turned over and around. A little bit longer to cook on this. I love this recipe. I just absolutely love this recipe. And so does my family. It's always a hit. I've taken this as appetizers also, where I make it even smaller, little smaller chunks. You can kind of make them bite size. and those are great too. And then because I am doing this now, you don't have to cook it all the way through. What I can do is I'll be moving this here, and then I can just reheat it up this evening to be good to go. All right, so that is our meal. We will get these ready. We've got our bacon-wrapped ahi tuna. We have our chopped salad that I moved somewhere. And again, you can add, I'm going to be adding the pistachios. I will add the cranberries, the feta cheese, and there's a lot of different things that you can add to this. If you want to add avocado, you can do that. You have a lot of latitude with what you can do for this. So that's the salad. So we've got our appetizer skewers, our ahi tuna, our salad, and then we have the avocado mousse. Make sure you get signed up. Go to lowertoxiclife.com, get signed up. I'm going to be doing these shows weekly, and my plan is to start emailing out the recipes and the grocery shopping list ahead of time so that you have all that and you can cook right along with me. If you like this, please share it. Subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, and I definitely appreciate you being here. Make it an amazing day. Happy holidays. And I'm looking forward to a fun, festive, fabulous evening with my family, enjoying this delicious meal. Have a great day.